Every day brings challenges, some small, some big enough to shake your confidence and test your limits. What separates those who win from those who get stuck isn't luck or talent, it's mindset. The way you train your mind determines how you respond, how you grow, and ultimately, how you succeed. Winning in every situation starts inside your head. It begins with the choices you make about your thoughts, your focus, and your attitude. This isn't about being perfect or fearless. It's about building mental habits that keep you steady, clear, and strong, no matter what life throws at you. This series is about training your mind step by step with simple, powerful strategies you can use every day. It's about turning your mindset into your greatest asset so you can face any challenge, stay calm under pressure, and come out stronger every time. If you're ready to stop reacting and start winning, this journey is for you. Chapter 1. Control your thoughts before they control your actions. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that enters your mind? For most people, it's worry, stress about the day, doubt about themselves, fear of failure. That's where the battle starts. Not in your job, not in your relationships, not in your goals, but in your mind. Your thoughts shape how you feel, how you act, and ultimately, how your life turns out. That's why the first step to winning in any situation is learning how to take charge of your thinking. If you don't, your thoughts will run wild, and they'll take you places you don't want to go. They'll make you second-guess yourself, they'll drain your energy, and they'll keep you stuck. You don't need to be perfect to take control of your thoughts. You just need to be present. You need to notice when your thoughts are pulling you away from your purpose. And when they do, you redirect them. That's the work. That's the training. And it starts with awareness. Think about it. How many times have you stopped yourself from doing something important because you were overthinking? How many times have you talked yourself out of taking a step forward just because your mind filled you with doubt? That's not because you're weak. It's not because you're not capable. It's because the mind is powerful and it believes whatever you tell it the most. The mind listens closely to your inner voice. If you constantly say, "I'm not good enough," it starts to believe it. If you say, "I always mess things up," it finds evidence to prove it. But the same rule works in your favor. If you start saying, "I've got what it takes, I can figure this out, I'll keep going even when it's hard," your mind will adjust. It will support you instead of stopping you. Winning starts with that shift. You don't need to control everything around you. You just need to take charge of the voice inside you. You can't always stop negative thoughts from showing up. That's normal. But you don't have to feed them. You don't have to entertain them. You don't have to believe every thought that crosses your mind. That's where your power is. When fear shows up, acknowledge it, but don't give it the microphone. When self-doubt creeps in, look at it, but don't give it the steering wheel. Say to yourself, "This thought isn't helping me right now," and then choose one that does. You might be thinking, "That sounds simple, but it's not easy." And you're right. Training your mind isn't about flipping a switch. It's a process. It's a daily practice. But every time you do it, you get stronger. Every time you catch yourself slipping into fear or frustration and choose a better thought, you're winning. And it's not just about positive thinking. It's about clear thinking, focused thinking, honest thinking. Sometimes your thoughts will try to convince you that one bad moment means a bad life, or that one failure defines your future, or that someone else's success means you're falling behind. None of those thoughts are true. But if you don't challenge them, they'll take root. And the longer they sit in your mind, the more power they gain. So you need to be active. You need to be deliberate. When a thought makes you feel small, question it. Ask yourself, is this helping me? Is this based on facts or just fear? Would I say this to someone I care about? You'll be surprised how often your mind tries to convince you of things that aren't even real, and once you see it, you can change it. Here's something important. Your thoughts affect your emotions, and your emotions affect your energy. That means the more negative you're thinking, the heavier you feel. And when you're weighed down mentally, you lose the drive to take action. But when your thoughts are strong, clear, and encouraging, your energy rises, your confidence grows, and you start showing up differently in your work, your relationships, and your goals. Training your mind to win means you learn to interrupt patterns that don't serve you. For example, if you always panic when something goes wrong, you stop and breathe instead. You don't let your thoughts run away with the worst-case scenario. You pause. You think. You respond instead of reacting. You start to talk to yourself in a way that builds you up. Not with lies, not with hype, but with truth. You remind yourself of your progress. You focus on what you can control. You speak to yourself like a leader, not a critic. And the more you do it, the more automatic it becomes. When life throws challenges your way, and it will, you'll be ready. Not because everything is easy, but because your mind is steady. You'll be able to keep going when most people quit. You'll be able to think clearly when others are overwhelmed. You'll be able to move forward when fear tells you to stay stuck. This is what it means to train your mind to win in every situation. It doesn't mean you're never afraid. It means you don't let fear win. It doesn't mean you always feel confident. It means you show up anyway, even when you don't. It doesn't mean you never fail. It means you don't let failure define who you are. Winning starts with how you think, how you talk to yourself, how you handle the voice of fear, doubt, and negativity when it shows up. It starts with deciding that no thought has the right to stop you from becoming who you were built to be. So from now on, pay attention. Catch yourself when you start slipping into thoughts that drain your strength. Replace them with thoughts that move you forward. Speak truth into your own mind, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Especially then, this is the first chapter of mastering your mindset. And it's the beginning of a new kind of strength, the kind that lasts, the kind that carries you through pressure, setbacks, and success, the kind that helps you win, not just once, but every single time you're tested. The battle is always in the mind, but now you're equipped, you're aware, and you're ready to take control. Chapter 2. Build Unshakable Focus. By mastering mental discipline, focus is a skill. It's not something you're born with or without. It's something you build. You build it with repetition. You build it with effort. And above all, you build it with discipline. We live in a world that's fighting for our attention every second. Notifications, noise, distractions, opinions, pulling us in 100 different directions. And if you're not careful, your mind starts to scatter. Your energy gets spread too thin, and your ability to stay focused weakens without you even realizing it. Discipline is what brings your focus back. It's what keeps you steady when the world is loud. It's what helps you finish what you start, even when it gets boring, even when it gets hard, even when nobody is watching. But it doesn't just happen. You have to train for it. Think about how often your focus slips throughout the day. You pick up your phone without thinking. You scroll for 10, 20, 30 minutes. You tell yourself you're going to work, but then you check one more message. You open your laptop and then switch tabs 5 times before actually doing anything. It's not because you're lazy. It's because you haven't trained your mind to stay locked in. And without training, your focus becomes fragile. Mental discipline is about regaining control. It means you don't act based on impulse. You act based on intention. You decide what matters most, and then you direct your energy toward it, one moment at a time. Discipline means you say no. No to the distractions, no to the excuses, no to the quick escapes that don't serve you. It means you say yes to structure, yes to practice, yes to consistency. When you train your mind with discipline, focus becomes your superpower. You stop wasting time, you stop getting pulled off track, and you start moving forward in a straight line instead of going in circles. So how do you build that kind of focus? First, you need clarity. You can't focus on everything, so don't try. You need to be clear about what matters most right now. Not someday, not next year, but today. Discipline starts with knowing what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Once you've got clarity, the next step is commitment. You have to make a decision to protect your focus, even when distractions feel easier. That means setting boundaries. It means creating routines that support your goals. It means working in blocks of time where your phone is off, your space is clean, and your mind is locked in. You'll be surprised how much you can accomplish in one focused hour. But that hour won't happen by accident. You have to create it. You have to protect it. Discipline is also about training your ability to start, especially when you don't feel like it. Most people wait until they're motivated, but those who succeed train themselves to begin without needing to feel ready. That's discipline. That's strength. Start even when it's uncomfortable. Start even when your mind tries to delay. And once you begin, give your full attention to that one task. No switching, no multitasking, just one thing at a time. Over time, this single tasking rewires your brain. You start to build stamina, the kind of mental endurance that allows you to focus deeper and longer. You start to feel in control of your time instead of reacting to everything around you. Another key part of mental discipline is learning how to recover when you lose focus. Because it will happen. You'll get distracted. You'll fall off track. That's normal. But what matters is how fast you come back. That bounce back is part of the training. When you catch yourself drifting, don't beat yourself up. Don't start overthinking. Just notice it, breathe, and return to the task. Every time you do that, you're building focus muscle. You're getting sharper. There's something else that matters. Your environment. It shapes your ability to focus more than you think. If your space is filled with distractions, your focus suffers. If your schedule is chaotic, your focus suffers. Discipline includes designing an environment where your attention can thrive. That might mean cleaning your desk. It might mean setting digital limits. It might mean saying no to things that steal your time. It also means guarding your energy, because focus isn't just about what's happening in your head. It's connected to how you treat your body. Are you sleeping well? Are you eating in a way that fuels you? Are you giving your brain the rest it needs to stay sharp? Discipline covers all of it. It's not a one-time decision. It's a lifestyle. It's a daily commitment to stay grounded, focused, and intentional in a world that rewards chaos. And here's the truth. Building unshakable focus isn't always exciting. Sometimes it's repetitive. Sometimes it's boring. But it works. It builds momentum. And that momentum compounds into real results. When you can sit down and work for hours without drifting, you stand out. When you can finish what others quit, you rise. When you can stay present in a conversation, in a meeting, in a moment, you build deeper relationships and stronger outcomes. Focus brings you back to what matters. It reminds you that you don't need to chase everything. You just need to give your full effort to the right things. The people who achieve big things don't have more talent than everyone else. They just have fewer distractions. They've learned how to block out noise, how to work with intensity, and how to stay consistent long after the excitement fades. That's the focus you want. The kind that doesn't disappear the moment things get hard. The kind that stays steady in the middle of stress, pressure, and setbacks. That's what makes you unshakable. So if you want to build that kind of mental discipline, start today. Start small. Choose one block of time and give it your full attention. No phone, no distractions. Just you and the task. Do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. That's how it begins. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being committed. Even on the off days. Even when it's not fun. Even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because here's what most people miss. It's not about doing more, it's about doing less with more intensity. It's about focusing on what truly matters, and giving it your all. That's how discipline sharpens focus. That's how focus leads to results. And that's how results build confidence. So take control of your focus, master your mental discipline, and watch how your life starts to change. Not through hype, not through shortcuts, but through quiet, consistent, focused effort. This is how you win. This is how you rise. Chapter 3. Replace negative thinking with powerful daily affirmations. Negative thoughts are one of the biggest reasons people feel stuck, discouraged, or defeated. These thoughts don't just show up occasionally. They often live in the background of the mind, quietly shaping how you feel, how you act, and how you see yourself. Some people carry thoughts like "I'm not good enough," "I'll never make it," "something always goes wrong," or "no one really cares about me." These kinds of thoughts don't just drain your energy, they start to shape your identity. And the truth is, most of the time, these thoughts aren't even based on facts. They're patterns. They've been picked up over time, from pain, rejection, failure, comparison, or trauma. The longer they stay unchecked, the deeper they go. But you don't have to let negative thinking run your life. You don't have to accept every thought that shows up in your mind. You can interrupt that cycle. And one of the most effective ways to do that is by speaking daily affirmations that replace the old script with something stronger. Affirmations are not magical words. They're not about pretending life is perfect. They're not about lying to yourself. They're about choosing what kind of thoughts you want to live by, what kind of mindset you want to develop, and what kind of energy you want to bring into your day. Every day, you're either building yourself up or tearing yourself down with your thoughts. And that's why what you say to yourself matters so much. If your internal voice is always critical, always doubtful, always negative, how can you expect to feel motivated? How can you move forward with confidence? That's where daily affirmations come in. They help you rewrite the story you've been telling yourself. But it only works if you take it seriously. Start by identifying the most common negative thoughts you have. Be honest with yourself. What kind of things do you say in your head when you're frustrated, when you fail, when you're alone? Now look at those thoughts. Are they helping you grow? Are they building your confidence? Are they pushing you forward or pulling you down? Once you recognize the negative patterns, you can begin replacing them with affirmations that are true, powerful, and life-giving. This is not about hype. This is about choosing words that shift your mental state and bring you back to your purpose. For example, if your usual thought is "I always mess things up," replace it with "I'm learning and improving every day." If you often think "I'm not enough," replace it with "I am worthy of respect, growth, and success." If your mind says "I'm never going to figure this out," say "I am capable. I find solutions one step at a time." And here's something important. Don't wait until you feel strong to speak strong affirmations. Say them even when your confidence is low, especially then, because your mind needs new input, and that input has to come from you. Start your day with affirmations that set your focus and raise your energy. You don't need a long list. You just need a few clear personal truths that remind you of your strength and potential. Speak them out loud. Speak them with emotion. Speak them like you mean it. Even if you don't fully believe them yet. Over time, they'll sink in. They'll take root. And the negative thoughts that once controlled you will start to lose their power. The truth is, your brain is always listening. It doesn't just respond to what happens around you. It responds to the words you say to yourself. The more you repeat something, the more your brain starts to believe it. That's how beliefs are formed, through repetition. So if you repeat fear, you'll live in fear. If you repeat doubt, you'll walk in hesitation. But if you repeat truth, strength, confidence, and purpose, you'll start to feel it. You'll act on it. You'll live it. Here are a few examples of powerful daily affirmations you can use. I am focused and in control of my mindset. I have the power to choose my response today. I am growing stronger through every challenge I face. My past does not define me. My actions do. I am enough, and I am improving every single day. I stay calm, clear, and committed in every situation. I deserve success, peace, and meaningful progress. Write down your affirmations and place them where you'll see them often, on your mirror, your desk, your phone background. Make it easy to be reminded of who you really are and who you're becoming. Also, don't keep your affirmations locked inside your head. Say them out loud. The sound of your own voice has impact. It cuts through the noise. It becomes real. That voice becomes your weapon against the lies that try to live inside your mind. This practice doesn't take much time, but the results compound. Day after day, you build a stronger mindset. You build a new self-image. You start to believe in yourself in ways you never used to. And that belief leads to action. It leads to courage. It leads to progress. Replacing negative thoughts doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means responding to reality with power instead of fear. It means taking responsibility for your thoughts and actively shaping your mental environment. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer. And as the observer, you get to decide which thoughts stay and which ones leave. That's your strength. That's your freedom. And here's something else. This kind of self-talk affects more than just your mood. It affects how others see you. When you walk into a room believing you belong, you carry yourself differently. When you face a challenge with confidence, people feel it. When you speak to yourself with respect, others follow that lead. This isn't about being fake. It's about being grounded. It's about standing in truth, even when your emotions are all over the place. Affirmations help you return to that truth. They help you show up strong, even when your circumstances are shaky. Your mind will always come up with reasons to doubt yourself. But now you know how to push back. Now you know how to feed your mind the kind of input that keeps you going. This is how you train your mind to win. Not by avoiding fear, not by silencing your emotions, but by choosing words that empower you instead of weaken you. Words that remind you of your strength. Even when life is hard, you don't have to be perfect to speak affirmations. You just have to be committed. You have to be honest. And you have to be consistent. One day at a time, one thought at a time, one affirmation at a time, you rewrite your internal dialogue. You reprogram the way you think. and you begin to walk with a strength that can't be taken from you. This is how you replace negative thinking with power. This is how you train your mind to support you instead of sabotage you. This is how you create a mental environment where you can grow, build, and success. Chapter 4. Visualize success in detail before taking real action. Before any real success happens in your life, it starts in your mind. That's not a theory. It's a pattern. Anyone who's ever built something meaningful, broken through limits, or achieved something great saw it clearly in their mind before it showed up in real life. That's the power of visualization. It's not magic, it's not pretending, it's mental preparation. It's training your brain to stay aligned with your goals, your values, and your path. When you visualize success in detail, you're not just daydreaming, you're rehearsing, you're programming your focus, you're shaping your emotions, you're creating clarity, and clarity is powerful. Because the truth is, most people don't succeed because they're not smart. It's not because they don't want it, it's because they don't have a clear internal picture of what success actually looks like for them. They start things, but they never really see the end goal. They set goals, but they don't visualize what it means to live those goals. So they lose momentum, they get discouraged, they get distracted, and eventually they settle for less than what they're capable of. That's why you need to train your mind to see it first. When you take time to visualize your success, specifically and consistently, you create a target for your brain, and the brain loves targets. It works better when it knows where it's going. That's how mental energy stays focused. That's how confidence starts to grow. Start by asking yourself one simple question: what does success really look like for you? Not what sounds impressive, not what looks good on social media. What do you actually want to experience in your life? Where do you want to be in 5 years? How do you want to feel when you wake up? What kind of work do you want to be doing? What kind of impact do you want to make? Who do you want to become? This is where most people stop. They keep it vague. I want to be successful. I want to be happy. I want to make a difference. That's not enough. Your brain needs detail. It needs images. It needs texture. The clearer the picture, the more powerful the process. When you visualize, go deep. See yourself in the room. Hear the sounds. Feel the emotion. Imagine how you carry yourself, what you're wearing, who you're talking to, what your environment looks like, what kind of words are coming out of your mouth, what kind of energy you're bringing into the space. This level of detail matters because your brain doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something real. That's why athletes use visualization before they compete. That's why top performers rehearse success in their minds before they show up in real life. They're training their mind to feel familiar with success, so when it comes, they're ready. If your only mental pictures are of failure, rejection, or quitting, that's the track your mind will follow. But when your internal world is filled with strong, clear, confident images of success, your actions start to match that picture. Visualization doesn't replace hard work. It supports it. It fuels it. It gives your work direction. Because once your mind sees it clearly, your body follows with more focus, more energy, and more intention. Think about someone who's training for a marathon. Before they ever cross the finish line, they've pictured it hundreds of times. They've felt the sweat, the pressure, the fatigue, the crowd, and they've seen themselves push through it. That mental practice helps them stay steady when the real pain hits. You can apply the same principle to any area of your life. Whether you're building a business, improving your health, changing your habits, or developing a new skill, Mental rehearsal sharpens your focus and strengthens your belief. You also need to visualize obstacles, not just the outcome. Picture yourself staying composed when things go wrong. See yourself recovering from setbacks. Imagine how you'll handle frustration. This kind of mental preparation builds resilience. It reminds you that success doesn't come without resistance. It comes through it. But you won't get through it if you haven't trained for it. This kind of visualization works best when you do it consistently. Not once a month, but daily. Just a few quiet minutes to close your eyes, breathe, and walk yourself through the process of becoming who you want to be. It's not about being perfect. It's about being prepared. And don't keep these images stuck in your head. Write them down. Describe them in detail. Speak them out loud. Every time you do, you're reinforcing that vision. You're making it stronger. You're reminding your brain of where it's going. You'll notice something powerful happens when you visualize daily. Your brain starts to filter information differently. You become more alert to opportunities. You become more aware of what aligns with your goal and what doesn't. You make better decisions, not by force, but because you're thinking with clarity. Visualization also helps reduce anxiety. When you mentally walk through success ahead of time, you're less likely to panic in high-pressure moments. You've already seen yourself succeed in your mind, so your nervous system stays calm. That calmness improves performance. It helps you stay present. It helps you recover faster. And there's one more thing. It builds identity. You begin to shift from, "I hope this happens," to "This is who I am." That's when everything changes. Because once your identity changes, your habits follow, your mindset aligns, your discipline deepens, and you stop sabotaging yourself with fear or insecurity. Your brain works better when it sees success as normal, not rare, not impossible, not someday, but real and reachable. Visualization brings that feeling closer. It creates a mental space where your future self is already operating. That's not delusion. That's discipline. And when you pair that with daily action, you become unstoppable. So visualize in detail. Don't just wish. Don't just hope. See it. Feel it. Practice it. Own it. You don't need to know every step. You just need to see the destination clearly enough to move with purpose. And when the road gets rough, and it will, that mental picture will remind you why you started. It'll guide you through the discomfort. It'll bring you back to focus. This is how you prepare to win, not just physically, but mentally. This is how you stay ready in every situation. Not because you never struggle, but because you've already trained your mind to push through the struggle. You've already seen yourself succeed. So when it happens, you're not surprised. You're ready. That's the power of mental clarity. That's the power of visualization. Chapter 5. Train your mind to stay calm under pressure. Pressure shows up when the stakes are high. It shows up when you care deeply about the outcome, but you're unsure how things will turn out. It shows up in moments of decision, during conflict, in the middle of uncertainty, or when everything feels like it's on the line. Staying calm in those moments is not about ignoring how you feel. It's about staying in control of how you respond. Your ability to remain steady under pressure isn't something you're born with. It's something you train. Just like physical strength, calmness under pressure is a skill that develops through repetition and awareness. The truth is, pressure is not the problem. Your reaction to it is. Two people can face the same challenge. One falls apart. The other holds it together. The difference isn't talent, it's mental conditioning. You have to train your mind to slow down when everything around you is speeding up, because pressure wants you to panic. It wants you to rush decisions. It wants you to act emotionally, speak without thinking, or shut down altogether. If you don't train your mind for pressure, you'll find yourself overwhelmed, reactive, and inconsistent. But when you do train for it, something powerful happens. You begin to think clearly in moments where most people lose clarity. You make better decisions. You protect your energy. You remain steady. So how do you train your mind to stay calm under pressure? Start by recognizing your patterns. When you're under stress, how does your body react? Do your hands shake? Does your heart race? Does your breathing get shallow? Do your thoughts speed up? Do you start assuming the worst? You can't control what you don't understand. You need to study your response to pressure so you can learn how to shift it. This awareness is the beginning of self-control. Next, use your breath as a tool. When the mind is racing, your breath can bring you back. Deep, slow breathing sends a message to your nervous system. I am safe. I am in control. I don't need to panic. This is not about taking one deep breath and moving on. It's about building a habit of steady breathing when you feel pressure rising. Inhale slowly. Exhale even slower. Give your mind a few seconds to catch up before it reacts. This pause creates space for better thinking. Another powerful tool is preparation. Pressure feels heavier when you're not prepared. But when you've done the work ahead of time, your confidence rises. Whether it's a presentation, a conversation, or a tough decision, if you've mentally rehearsed the situation, it won't shake you as easily. Visualize the pressure. Walk yourself through it before it happens. Picture yourself staying calm, thinking clearly, and responding with purpose. The more you practice under imagined pressure, the stronger you become when real pressure shows up. Also, train yourself to focus on what you can control. Pressure often makes people focus on the outcome, what might go wrong, what people will think, how big the moment feels. That kind of thinking only adds tension. Shift your focus to what's in your hands, your attitude, your actions, your breathing, your preparation, your response. That's where your power is. That's what keeps you grounded. And then there's your internal dialogue. The way you speak to yourself in pressure moments matters. If your inner voice says, "You're going to fail," "You can't handle this," or "This is too much," your body and mind will tighten up. But if your voice says, "Stay with it," "You've done this before," or "Focus on the next step," you create calm inside the chaos. Train that voice. Catch the fear-based thoughts and challenge them. Replace them with stronger, steadier language. Not hype, just truth. I've prepared. I'm capable. This moment doesn't control me. Remember, you don't need to feel calm to be calm. Calm is a choice. It's an action. You can feel nervous and still choose to slow your breathing. You can feel unsure and still decide to focus. That's the power of mental discipline. There's another piece that matters: your body. If your lifestyle is unbalanced, pressure becomes harder to manage. Sleep, hydration, movement, these affect your brain's ability to regulate emotions. Train your body to support your calm. You don't need to be an athlete. You just need to stay physically aware. A tense body produces a tense mind. A rested body helps create a clear mind. Now let's talk about speed. Pressure tells you to rush. But most mistakes under pressure happen because of speed, not because of the situation itself. When you're rushing, you stop thinking, you start reacting, and you give up control. Train yourself to slow down, even in fast situations. Slowing down doesn't mean doing nothing. It means being intentional. It means pausing for just a few seconds to breathe, to think, to respond from a calm place. This pause becomes your anchor. When things feel heavy, when people are watching, when the noise gets loud, that pause reminds you that you're still in control. You don't need to match the chaos around you. You set your own pace. You own your energy. Another training method is exposure. Face small levels of pressure intentionally. Speak up in a group. Have the hard conversation. Take on a challenge that stretches you. When you put yourself in small, uncomfortable situations on purpose, you build resistance to panic. You show your brain that pressure is not a threat. It's just a test. The more you face it, the less power it has over you. And finally, reflect on your growth. Look at the times you stayed calm, the times you handled something better than you thought you could. Remember those wins. Use them as fuel. Remind yourself, I've been through pressure before. I didn't break. I won't break now. Calmness is not weakness. It's strength in its highest form. It means your emotions are present, but not in charge. It means your fear is real, but it doesn't control your response. It means you rise above the noise, and you focus on what needs to be done. Train your mind to find that calm again and again. Don't wait for the world to get quiet. Build your own silence. Build your own center. Stand in it when everything around you shakes. This is what it means to be mentally strong. Not perfect, not fearless, but grounded, controlled, focused. That's the mindset that wins. That's the strength that lasts. Chapter 6. Practice mental toughness through daily small challenges. Mental toughness doesn't show up all at once. It's built gradually through your choices, your attitude, and your willingness to face difficulty without backing down. Most people think toughness is about being hard or aggressive, but real mental strength is quiet. It shows up in consistency. It shows up when no one is watching. It shows up when you choose discipline over comfort again and again. It's not about being fearless. It's about doing the right thing, even when fear is present. The most reliable way to develop that kind of strength is by facing small challenges every single day. Not once in a while, not when you feel motivated, but every day, on purpose, in areas of your life that test your patience, your focus, your self-control. Daily challenges train your mindset, like lifting weights trains your muscles. Each small effort, each tough decision adds a layer of resilience, and over time, that resilience becomes who you are. Start with the basics. Wake up when you said you would. Make your bed. Finish the task you've been avoiding. Work through discomfort instead of escaping it. Do something productive even when your mood is off. These actions may seem small, but the discipline they build is massive. Every time you complete a small challenge, you're proving to yourself that you can follow through. You're telling your brain, we do hard things, even when we don't feel like it. And that's self-trust. That's the foundation of mental toughness. You don't need to look for extreme tests. You just need to look for moments of resistance. Moments when quitting would be easier, when delay feels more comfortable, when distraction sounds more appealing. In those moments, choose growth. Choose action. For example, if you feel the urge to check your phone while working, hold off. Stay focused for 5 more minutes. If you're tempted to skip your workout, go anyway, even if it's just for a few minutes. If you want to speak out of frustration, pause, breathe, choose a better response. These small wins shape your identity. They help you build emotional control, self-awareness, and a stronger response system. That's what separates people who stay stuck from people who rise. You won't always feel strong during these challenges. Some days you'll feel tired. Some days you'll feel frustrated. But mental toughness isn't about having constant strength. It's about showing up anyway. It's about not giving in to your weaker impulses. You also need to understand that setbacks are part of this process. There will be days when you fall short, when you lose patience, when you break a promise to yourself. That's okay. What matters is how fast you come back, how fast you reset, how fast you recommit. Mental toughness grows when you stop making excuses, when you stop negotiating with your weaknesses, when you start doing what needs to be done, no matter how small the step is. And it grows even faster when you do uncomfortable things on purpose. Take cold showers. Speak in front of a group. Say no to something you don't need. Learn a new skill that challenges you. Put yourself in situations that make your heart race a little. These aren't for show, they're for your mindset. You want your brain to understand that discomfort is not danger. That challenge is not failure. That stress is not the enemy. The more you train this way, the stronger you become when real life gets hard, because it will. Life won't go easy on you. But if you've been training your mind through daily pressure, you won't crumble, you won't fold. You'll rise with focus because you've already built that strength brick by brick. Another key part of this process is commitment to your word. If you say you'll do something, do it. Even if the feeling that made you say it is gone, that discipline will set you apart. In a world full of broken promises, follow-through is power. Mental toughness also means you stop blaming. You stop looking for someone or something to take responsibility for your discomfort. You own your reactions. You own your attitude. You own your process. That kind of ownership is rare, and it's powerful. When you take on daily small challenges, you stop fearing struggle. You begin to understand that pain isn't always a signal to stop. It's often a signal to keep going. It means you're growing. It means you're stretching. Of course, there's a difference between healthy pressure and burnout. This isn't about punishing yourself. It's about sharpening your edge. About doing the work even when it's not convenient. About staying committed even when no one's clapping. Mental toughness is built in the quiet. In the early mornings, in the lonely hours, in the moments when you push through something most people would avoid. It's also built through how you talk to yourself. When your mind says, "I can't," you answer with, "I will try." When your mind says, "This is too hard," you say, "This is where I grow." That dialogue shapes your path. Keep it strong, keep it steady, keep it honest. And when you complete a daily challenge, celebrate it. Not with noise, not with a reward, but with recognition. You did something hard. You followed through. You built strength. Stack those wins. Over time, you'll look back and realize the person you've become, the mindset you've developed, the confidence you carry, the self-control you hold, was built through simple daily choices, one hard thing at a time. Mental toughness is not about being fearless. It's about feeling fear and showing up anyway. It's not about being emotionless. It's about feeling everything and still doing what matters. The more small challenges you face, the less intimidating life becomes, because you've trained, you've prepared, you've built an inner strength that doesn't shake under pressure. This strength is available to anyone willing to show up daily, not just when it's easy, not just when it's exciting, but especially when it's uncomfortable. That's where the real growth lives. That's where transformation begins. Chapter 7. Stay solution-focused in every tough situation you face. When life gets tough, and it will, your mind will want to focus on the problem. That's natural, but it's also where most people get stuck. They obsess over what went wrong, who's to blame, or how unfair the situation feels. That mindset drains energy and limits progress. The key to winning in those moments is this: train yourself to stay solution-focused, not someday, not when the pressure is gone, but right in the middle of the difficulty. Because the faster you shift your attention from the problem to the solution, the faster you gain clarity, control, and forward momentum. Problems are loud. They create stress, fear, anxiety, and sometimes even panic. But problems don't stop progress. Dwelling on them does. You need to recognize when your mind is stuck in a loop, repeating what happened, replaying what went wrong, spinning around with no direction. That mental loop is where people waste time and energy. Your strength comes from breaking that loop and redirecting your thoughts. The first step is to take a breath and get honest with yourself. Ask, what can I do right now? Not tomorrow, not when it's easier. Right now. That one question creates movement. It shifts your mind from helplessness to ownership. The truth is, you won't always have full control over your situation, but you always have control over how you respond. You can either stay stuck in the storm or become the one who thinks clearly in it. Being solution-focused doesn't mean ignoring the problem. It means you acknowledge it, but you don't stay there. You give your energy to finding what works, not what hurts. If something breaks in your life, plans fall apart, people disappoint you, a door shuts, you don't waste time crying over it forever. You give yourself a moment, then you switch gears. Ask, where do I go from here? That question opens doors. It brings your mind out of reaction and into creation. Solutions are built from this mindset. Sometimes the solution is a new plan. Sometimes it's patience. Sometimes it's reaching out for help. Sometimes it's a step backward so you can step forward again with more strength. No matter the answer, you have to be willing to look for it. And looking for it means keeping your emotions in check. When you're overwhelmed, your mind closes. When you calm yourself, even just a little, you begin to think better, stronger, clearer, more strategic. Train yourself to pause in hard moments. Train yourself to think before reacting. Train yourself to keep your words focused on progress, not blame. That's how winners handle pressure. Start applying this with small things. If you lose something important, don't complain. Organize a system to keep it safe next time. If a conversation goes badly, don't replay it with frustration. Think about how to improve your communication. If a goal fails, don't take it personally. Look at what needs adjusting. That kind of thinking becomes a habit. The more you use it, the more natural it becomes. And when life hits harder, when a serious challenge shows up, you'll already have that mental muscle trained. Being solution-focused is not about pretending everything is fine. It's about choosing not to let the situation define you. It's about saying, this is hard, but I'm not powerless. I will figure it out, step by step. There's real power in that mindset. Think about the people who inspire you, the ones who keep going through tough times, the ones who overcome hardship and still move forward. They all have this in common. They focus on what can be done, not what can't. You need that same focus. And it starts with the questions you ask yourself. Don't ask why me. Ask what's next. Don't ask who's to blame. Ask what can I learn. Don't ask how bad is it. Ask how can I grow from this. The quality of your questions determines the quality of your mindset. Another part of staying solution-focused is controlling the environment around you. If you spend time with people who only talk about problems, you'll start doing the same. If your conversations are full of complaints, criticism, and negativity, you'll feel stuck, even when you're trying to move forward. Surround yourself with people who think about what's possible. people who focus on what can be improved, people who believe in action more than excuses. That energy is contagious. It lifts you. It pushes you. Also, be careful with your self-talk. In difficult moments, your words to yourself matter more than anything. If you say, "I can't handle this," you're building a wall in your mind. If you say, "I'll take this one step at a time," you're building a path. Stay aware of the stories you tell yourself. Stay aware of the language you use. Your words shape your response. Your response shapes your future. When pressure builds, remember your job isn't to have all the answers right away. Your job is to keep your mind open, your heart steady, and your focus on solutions. Even if the solution takes time, stay committed to searching for it. That commitment builds confidence. That confidence builds momentum, and that momentum builds results. Some solutions won't be perfect. That's okay. Take what you can and move forward. Then adjust as you go. Progress isn't always pretty, but it always beats standing still. When you train your mind to stay solution-focused, you give yourself the gift of movement. You stop waiting for things to get better and start building better from where you are. Over time, you'll become the person who doesn't panic under pressure, the one who thinks clearly when others freeze, the one who steps forward while others stay stuck. That's who you're becoming when you practice this mindset daily. And the best part, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Your brain learns to search for answers. Your emotions learn to follow your focus. Your actions become sharper, more aligned, more effective. That's how you win, even in tough situations. So the next time you face difficulty, and it's coming, pause. Get calm, ask better questions, and choose to think forward, not backward. Solutions live in the present. Growth happens in movement. Power comes from focus. Choose to live that way, and your mind will learn to win in every situation. Chapter 8. Develop patience by embracing slow and steady growth. Growth doesn't happen overnight. The real kind, the one that sticks, the one that shapes your character, builds your strength, and refines your mindset, comes slow. It comes in small, steady steps. Not in big leaps. Not with instant rewards. And not without a good amount of waiting. If you want to train your mind to win in every situation, you have to develop patience. And that only happens when you stop rushing the process and start embracing the long path, because that's where real transformation takes place. People want fast results. They want quick success, instant confidence, immediate mastery. But the truth is, anything that lasts takes time. Whether you're rebuilding yourself after a setback, learning a new skill, or trying to change the way you think, it's always slow. And that's not a weakness. That's the way strength is built. Patience is not sitting around doing nothing. It's staying consistent when progress is invisible. It's doing the right thing every day, even when it feels like it's not working yet. That mindset changes your relationship with time. You stop treating time like an enemy and start using it as your partner. Think about it like this. Most things worth having, peace, discipline, confidence, resilience, require daily effort. You don't gain them by force. You gain them by showing up again and again, even when no one's watching, even when no one's clapping, and even when nothing feels exciting. That's where the real winners separate themselves. They don't chase shortcuts. They build slowly, intentionally, quietly, and they trust that their work will pay off, not today, but eventually. Look at nature. Trees don't grow overnight. It takes seasons. Roots grow deep before anything rises above the ground. The same is true for your mind. Before it becomes sharp and focused under pressure, it needs time to practice patience. Before you gain clarity in tough moments, you need to go through the moments that confuse you, stretch you, and slow you down. You can't skip that part. If you're trying to rush your growth, you're going to miss the lessons that shape your future. You'll overlook the strength you were meant to build along the way. The small efforts you make each day, waking up earlier, staying focused for an extra hour, choosing calm over chaos, discipline over distraction, those aren't small. They're the bricks you lay for a stronger life. But most people give up too soon. They get frustrated when results don't show up fast. They stop doing the things that matter because they aren't getting praised for it, or because no one's noticing the effort. That's the trap. That's when patience needs to step in. You have to be okay with being unnoticed for a while. You have to be comfortable growing in silence, because that's where your mind becomes unshakable. That's where your actions start speaking louder than your feelings. That's where you stop being driven by emotion and start being powered by intention. Patience also teaches you emotional control. You start to see that most frustration comes from expecting things to move faster than they're meant to. When you slow down and accept the pace of steady progress, you stop forcing outcomes. You stop comparing yourself to others. You start focusing on your lane, and your growth becomes stronger and more focused. In life, there are going to be seasons where nothing seems to change. You'll be doing the right things, and it'll still feel like you're stuck. That's when most people question themselves. That's when doubt shows up. That's when the mind starts whispering, maybe this isn't working. Ignore that voice, because progress is still happening, just not in the way you expect. During those times, your mindset is developing resilience. Your habits are becoming rooted. Your focus is being tested. That's growth, quiet growth, invisible growth, but growth nonetheless. If you can stay steady during those quiet seasons, you'll build something inside of you that can't be shaken by failure, delay, or disappointment. You'll gain trust in yourself, not because life got easier, but because you became stronger. That's what real patience gives you. It gives you the ability to stay calm when others panic. It gives you the confidence to wait for the right moment, instead of chasing the wrong one. It gives you the emotional strength to stay grounded when your goals take longer than you thought. Every time you wait with discipline, you grow. Every time you keep showing up, despite the silence, you grow. Every time you trust the process, even when it's slow, you're winning. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't rely on outside validation to keep going. You don't need fast progress to feel worthy. You don't need loud results to know you're improving. You just need a consistent, focused, steady mindset. That's what wins in the long run. Now ask yourself, can you stay consistent even when the rewards are delayed? Can you trust your habits even when your emotions tell you to quit? Can you show up with discipline even when nothing exciting is happening? Because that's what it means to embrace slow and steady growth. That's what separates people who build lasting success from those who burn out trying to move too fast. You don't have to be in a rush to get ahead. You just have to stay committed to doing the right things daily. If you want to master anything, your thoughts, your emotions, your time, you'll have to work on it slowly, repeating the right steps, correcting yourself when you slip, starting again when you lose momentum, not giving up just because things aren't moving fast enough. Understand this: patience is a skill, and like any skill, it gets stronger the more you use it. So when things are moving slowly, don't fight it. Learn from it. Use the time to develop discipline. Use the space to think clearly. Use the quiet to build habits that don't depend on motivation. The world is full of people looking for fast success. Stand out by choosing steady progress. Stay focused on the long game. Be okay with starting small. Be okay with going unnoticed. Be okay with working in silence while others rush and burn out. Because when you move slow and steady, you don't just reach your goal. You arrive with strength, with peace, and with the kind of mindset that's ready for the next level. That's how you train your mind to win in every situation. Chapter 9. Rewire your mindset by feeding it positive. Input. Your mind is constantly absorbing information, consciously and unconsciously. Everything you see, hear, read, and experience becomes part of your inner environment. That environment shapes your thoughts, and over time, your thoughts shape your beliefs. Your beliefs, in turn, determine how you show up in life. If you want to rewire your mindset, the first step is to take control of what you feed it. You can't expect a powerful, clear, and resilient mind if you're constantly feeding it fear, drama, negativity, and doubt. Just like the body needs clean, healthy food to perform at its best, the mind needs strong, positive input to think at a higher level. What you allow into your mind, through conversations, media, reading, or your own self-talk, directly influences your confidence, clarity, and emotional control. That's why feeding your mind positive input isn't just a motivational idea. It's a practical decision with long-term impact. Start by becoming aware of what's already inside your mental space. Are your thoughts mostly anxious? Are you constantly criticizing yourself? Are you replaying negative past events? That's not a coincidence. That's a reflection of what you've been consuming mentally for weeks, months, maybe even years. If you wake up and start your day scrolling through chaos, your mind will adapt to stress. If you're always listening to people who complain, your thinking will follow that same rhythm. If you expose yourself to toxic messages or entertainment that glorifies failure, conflict, and mediocrity, that energy becomes part of you. But here's the good news. You can interrupt that pattern. You can feed your mind better fuel. It starts with intentional choices, small ones, daily ones. Replace low-energy content with words that uplift. Listen to messages that speak about growth, perseverance, and possibility. Read books that challenge you to think stronger and live wiser. Surround yourself with people who talk about solutions more than problems. Speak to yourself with the same respect you would give to someone you admire. You are always training your mind, whether you know it or not. The question is, are you training it to win or to worry? The quality of your input decides that. Think of your mindset like software. If it runs on outdated or corrupted code, it won't function well. You'll experience glitches, doubt, overthinking, fear, insecurity, procrastination. But the more you replace that code with new, empowering input, the better your mind performs. The more confident you become, the more solution-focused you grow. This process is called rewiring. It doesn't happen instantly, but it starts to work the moment you become intentional. You might begin by writing down just 3 positive truths each morning. Something simple and honest, like I can grow no matter how slow it feels. I choose focus over distraction today. My past does not define my next step. Over time, these daily inputs start building a new mental foundation. They won't magically erase old beliefs overnight, but they will weaken the grip of those beliefs. They'll introduce a new way of thinking, one that's rooted in strength, clarity, and self-trust. Another powerful habit is to guard the first and last hours of your day. Those are the moments your mind is most open to influence. If you begin and end your day with positive input, whether it's reading something meaningful, journaling, praying, or listening to something that lifts you, you give your mind an anchor, a calm, stable rhythm, something to hold on to even when the outside world feels chaotic. Also, be mindful of who you're around. The people you spend the most time with shape your thought patterns. If you're surrounded by negativity, even without realizing it, your standards and mindset begin to shift downward. Protect your space. It's not selfish, it's necessary. Energy is contagious. Make sure what you're catching is useful. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Even a few minutes a day of positive input can reshape the way your brain processes life. You start to respond instead of react. You focus on what you can control instead of what you fear. You stop spiraling into worst-case scenarios and start looking for next-step solutions. That's a trained mind, and it begins with the input. Over time, you'll notice something else. You stop needing as much external motivation. Why? Because your mind starts generating strength from within. It becomes a place of clarity, not confusion. It becomes a space of focus, not noise. That kind of mind doesn't panic under pressure. It stays calm. It looks ahead. It works through the hard moments without collapsing emotionally. That's the reward of positive input. Not just good feelings, but better mental function. You'll also begin seeing people and problems differently. Instead of labeling things as impossible or overwhelming, your trained mindset starts looking for lessons, patterns, and opportunities. You get better at spotting the signal in the noise. You stop letting every opinion or mistake define your identity. You stay grounded in who you are, not in what's happening around you. The more you feed your mind with clarity and strength, the more those thoughts become your default. Eventually, this input becomes instinct. You'll find yourself naturally blocking out distractions. You'll recognize low-energy conversations faster and exit them without guilt. You'll seek out books, voices, and environments that match your values. And most importantly, you'll trust your own thoughts more. That's mental freedom. That's what rewiring gives you. It doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means your mindset becomes stronger than the obstacles. This isn't just about positivity for the sake of feeling good. It's about taking control of your inner environment so that you can perform, decide, and live at your highest potential. It means you stop being a passive receiver of noise and start becoming an active builder of your mindset. The right input rewires your beliefs. Rewired beliefs shift your self-talk. Clear self-talk improves your decisions. And strong decisions lead to consistent growth. This isn't hype. It's structure. It's practical. And it works if you do it daily. So take a few minutes today to evaluate your input. What are you feeding your mind every morning? Who do you listen to the most? What thoughts are you allowing to loop throughout the day? Then make the shift. Choose something better. Not perfect. Just better. Because every positive word, every focused moment, every uplifting idea, it all adds up. One input at a time, you train your mind to win. Chapter 10. Reflect daily and reinforce your winning mindset routine. Reflection is one of the most powerful tools you have to train your mind to win. It's simple in theory but difficult in practice, because it asks you to stop rushing, to slow down, and to look honestly at your day, your actions, your decisions, your thoughts. It asks you to face yourself without judgment and to learn from what happened. Daily reflection is like a mental reset button. It gives you the chance to check your progress, notice what's working, and adjust what's not. Without it, you risk repeating the same mistakes and falling into autopilot. With it, you create a routine that reinforces your growth, sharpens your focus, and strengthens your mindset. Every successful person understands the power of reflection. They don't just work hard, they work smart. They create moments to step back, evaluate, and course correct. It's in those moments that they build momentum that lasts. Reflection is not about criticizing yourself or beating yourself up over failures. It's about curiosity and learning. It's about asking good questions that open doors instead of closing them. What did I do well today? What distracted me? Where did I feel strong? Where did I feel weak? What can I improve tomorrow? Answering these questions honestly every day gives you a clearer picture of your patterns. You begin to see where your mindset serves you and where it holds you back. You notice what triggers negativity or distraction. You find the moments where patience, focus, or discipline slipped away. That awareness is crucial. You can't fix what you don't see, but when you reflect, you shine a light on your habits and thoughts, and that light guides your next steps. Reflection also reinforces your wins. Too often, people overlook their progress because it's not dramatic or fast enough. Daily reflection reminds you that small wins count. It shows you how far you've come. That acknowledgement feeds your confidence and keeps you motivated to keep going. Reflection is a habit. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. It can be as simple as spending 5 minutes at the end of your day writing in a journal or mentally reviewing your day before sleep. Some people find it helpful to answer specific questions, while others prefer free-form thoughts. The form doesn't matter as much as the consistency. During reflection, focus on solutions. If you notice a setback or a mistake, don't get stuck in the problem. Instead, ask what you can do differently next time. Use your reflection time to plan small adjustments that improve your mindset and habits. Reflection also deepens self-awareness, which is a key component of mental strength. When you understand your thoughts, feelings, and reactions better, you gain control over them. You can catch yourself before falling into negative patterns or losing focus. That control is essential for winning in every situation. Another benefit of daily reflection is it builds resilience. Life throws curveballs. There will be days when things don't go your way. Reflection helps you process those experiences without getting overwhelmed. It keeps your mindset balanced, reminding you that setbacks are part of growth and not the end of the road. Your reflection routine becomes a mental anchor, a place of stability amid the chaos of daily life. It helps you build a stronger relationship with yourself, one based on honesty, patience, and commitment. To make the most of reflection, pair it with reinforcement. Use what you learn to reinforce your winning habits and mindset. For example, if you notice that starting your day with a clear goal improves your focus, commit to doing that every morning. If you see that distractions kill your productivity, create strategies to limit them. Reinforcement means taking action based on your reflections. It means adjusting your routine, strengthening your mental habits, and holding yourself accountable with kindness. It's about being your own coach, supportive but firm. Reflection and reinforcement together create a powerful cycle. Reflection shows you where to improve. Reinforcement helps you make that improvement stick. Over time, this cycle rewires your brain for success. It makes your winning mindset automatic instead of forced. Remember, no mindset is built perfectly in one day. It grows through daily commitment to learning and improvement. Reflection is the bridge between experience and growth. Without it, you're missing the full benefit of your efforts. When you commit to reflecting daily and reinforcing your routine, you train your mind to win consistently, not just occasionally. You build habits that hold strong under pressure, You develop confidence that grows from awareness and action. That's how winners think. That's how they stay sharp. And that's how you will too.